Hey guys, I am so excited to share another curriculum video with you guys. This video is going to be focusing on my upcoming 5th grader this year. I can't believe she's in 5th grade. This will be our 6th year homeschooling. So when she was in kindergarten, that's when we started. It should be a really fun year, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you the individual subjects that she's going to be working on this year. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jamie, and this is Simply Learning Together. I'm a mom of 4. My kids' ages are 10, 8, 5, and 3.5. So it should be a busy year for us. I've got 3 now in school age, so I'm really looking forward to that. Just recently, I posted a video about our family subjects. These are the subjects that we will be doing all together. So my oldest daughter that I'm going to be talking about in this video, she will also be completing those family subjects with us. That includes things like Bible, history, science, some fine arts things. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to do that, because that's definitely going to be a part of our day as well. Okay, so let's dive in. I gotta say that disclaimer, the fact that, what I pick is not what you have to pick. I am no expert in this. This is what I have prayed about for my family. If you would rather just read all of this on a blog post, I do have one posted, so I will link that in the description below if you want to check that out. Let's start with math. We have been on a little math journey. I've done a video about that before, and I can link it for you. We have tried many math programs. And actually, my kids use different math ones according to what best suits them. But this year, in January of this past year, we switched to BJU Press and completed Math 4. And it was just what we needed. We will be continuing with BJU Press this year. So we've got Math 5, and this time I actually got the teacher's guide. Woohoo! So I'm excited to have that. The little kit that I bought for BJU Press came with the teacher guide, which is 2 parts. So I have 2 of these. Then it came with the 2 student workbooks. So there's a work text and an activity book, and I'll get to that in a second. Then it also came with these assessments. So I've got assessments and the answer key. I'm not gonna lie, these are gonna end up collecting dust. I don't plan to use them. We use the review pages in here, and to me that's enough. I don't need to review, see that you can do a review, and then test you on it. That doesn't make sense. This is not a classroom. I can just look at your work and say, you got it. So these will be dust collectors on my shelf until the end of the year when I feel good about tossing them. Let's talk about the student books. We use both books, and here's how we do it. I have a whole video describing this if you want to check that out, but just really quickly, if you take a look at the work text, it is colored text, and each lesson has about 2 pages. So it teaches you the lesson on one side, and then there's extra practice on the back. We spend our lesson working through the work text together. I love this because there are tons of examples that we can work through. I mean, it could be a 5-minute lesson, it could be a 15-minute lesson. It just depends on what it is. Then the next day in the morning, when she does her independent work, she completes the activity book on her own. And if you look inside the activity book, the lessons match up with what she did in the work text, and each assignment is 2 sides. So you've got the front side that practices the skill that you taught the day before, and then you've got the back side that has review of everything you've done before. I really love the fact that there's some review. I think reviewing every day is helpful. It's a variety of review, and I also don't feel like it's too much. A really good balance of practice problems and review problems for her to complete on her own. Let's talk about language arts next. A year and a half ago, I got rid of an all-in-one language arts curriculum. So we don't use one. I was bored by them. I felt like they were a chore. I felt like my daughter was annoyed with them. And all I wanted to do was read books and use those books to learn language arts. And so that's what we've done. We now make our own language arts curriculum using novels that we are reading together as a family. So this has been a morphing process. We have kind of adjusted it over time, but it's really found a great rhythm, and we really enjoy the subject of language arts now. I will link for you a little playlist that I have. I have tons of videos on how we do this language arts. I even have a series of a whole novel that we've done together. I think it was Trumpet of the Swan. So every week that I planned, I made a video to kind of show, okay, this is how you do it from beginning to end. I use a template to kind of track what we've been learning in our passage study. So it's been really a great fit for us. Using passages from the novel, we study spelling, vocabulary, we practice handwriting, and we do all of this through dictation, copy work, narration, oral narration, and also written narration. So it's been a learning process over time, but we found a really good flow with it, and we read a lot of great books, and it's to the point where it just really doesn't feel like a lesson. It more feels like a book club, and we love that about it. So I do not pick our novels in advance. I tried that last year, and every time we got to a new novel, we would be in this position where we wanted to read something else because of our interests. So I have a few in mind. I also use Read Aloud Revival book list. She has tons of great books. And so whenever I don't have an idea of what I want to read, I usually will go to her lists and see what I can find. So that's pretty much it for the novel study portion of language arts. We will also be doing grammar. I do use a grammar curriculum, and we use Fix It Grammar. So we've been doing this for a year and a half. She is like halfway through level 2. So when the year starts up, she will just pick up where she left off and keep going. I really love this grammar approach. I love that it's a really quick lesson. I love that she can do it independently. And I really love what she's learned. I mean, there are times I now have to pull out the teacher guide because I'm like, I don't know what that is. So she's obviously learning quite a bit that I have forgotten over the years. She's also getting practice and experiencing editing sentences, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So that is something that I really like. Yes, I think the teacher guide is necessary. The sentences do get pretty tricky. So I would recommend getting both. But we love using this for grammar. Let's talk about writing for a second. This might be a little touchy subject because I do not use a formal writing curriculum. And I spent a couple of years stressing in misery over trying to find the right curriculum for writing. I personally hated writing growing up, and I feel like right then and there that should be a red flag that I need to do something different than what was done for me. I recently read a book called Know and Tell by Karen Glass, and it completely changed my outlook on teaching writing. I will be using the guidance and the charts that are included in that book to help me teach her how to write. So basically, I could do a whole video about this. Maybe I should. She's now at the point where she practices written narration multiple times a week, and she writes about things across multiple subjects. So history, science, literature. The book encourages this writing and to process what you're reading and write about it and not interrupt that flow. You're not editing it. You're not trying to fix errors. You're just letting them process their thoughts. If you have never done that before, if you've never read something and then tried to write about what you just read, I highly suggest doing that. It is a lot more difficult than you think. And if you try it, you will understand, wow, this is really helpful and meaningful to soak in and absorb what I just read. So give it a shot. Once we started written narration, then it just gradually improves as the time goes on. We do not edit any of her writing. She gets editing practice through this. And gradually, I have seen her editing skills that she's learned from here intermingle with what she's writing with written narration. So it's been really neat to see. Eventually, we will add in a formal writing curriculum. Right now, it's about getting words on paper, getting thoughts on paper, feeling comfortable, just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Writing. And that's what we're doing. This book does share how to kind of challenge them each year to help the improvement process. And so that's what I'm following. So not a formal writing curriculum here, but we are practicing writing in this special way. And it's very relaxed. I feel like it's simple. I feel like it's easy to manage. And I feel like she enjoys it so much more. Okay, that covers math and language arts. That's pretty much the basics, right? And she has the family studies. So the rest of these things, let's consider them elective courses. These are things that she wants to do. Let's start with foreign language. Last year, she told me she wanted to learn French. And I kind of giggled because I don't speak French. I don't know how she was going to learn that. And that would not have been my choice for that foreign language. I was thinking one day I would teach Spanish. She was adamant about it. This is something that she really wanted to do. She had interest, and so I said, okay. And so we tried a couple of things. We tried workbooks, we tried some online programs. We mostly stuck with Duolingo last year. She is getting more and more serious about wanting to learn it, and I don't feel like Duolingo was getting her there. So we've decided to kind of change that, and we will be doing Rosetta Stone this year. I am currently trying the 3-month one, and then we will kind of reevaluate after that. But the reason I picked that, I did a lot of research on YouTube about different language programs, and what I love about it is she actually has to speak. So the microphone in the computer will record her voice, and she has to speak into the microphone. So she is practicing talking, and I think she really needed that. The lessons are broken up into little 10-minute segments, so it's very doable, and it's something that she can do completely on her own. It is a little bit pricier. I have also heard through my research that they do sales all the time, really nice sales, where you can get like a lifetime membership for less than $200. And that's pretty good, because if you're gonna teach all your kids a foreign language, I think they can all be on there at some point. So it's definitely a deal. We're not doing that yet. I just did a little 3-month thing to kind of see, okay, is this what we want to do? And then we'll go from there. The next thing that we are going to try and add in is piano. We have tried piano in the past and had trouble with consistency, but recently we started a new online program called Vetberg Music Academy, and I hope I'm pronouncing their name right. It has been absolutely fantastic. She loves it. They teach a little bit differently. It is a lessons by ear, so it's not like classically trained piano lessons. What's really cool is their website kind of looks like a Facebook group. You can have meetings with your tutors. You can have online recitals. It's really nice. There's a little wall that you can interact with other people that are doing the lessons, and anybody in your family can be a part of it for, I think it's like $30-something. So that's what it costs where we are for one lesson once a week. So that to me is a steal, especially if I'm gonna be able to put 4 kids on it eventually. So we really like the cost of it, and we like what it's doing for her so far. She watches a little 20-minute video and then practices that selection all week. And then when she's ready and has that mastered, she can watch the next video. So this is still new for us. She's been working on it this summer. We're planning on having her continue that as well during the school year. Last thing is typing. We started typing last year. I've tried paid programs, and we mostly stuck with typing.com. It's free, and she likes it because when you log on, you have a timer where you have a certain amount of time that you have to type. And while you're taking your lesson, it's a mix of typing practice, short little videos, and games to practice what you've learned. I think that actual timer for typing doesn't include the video and games, so it's the timer is specifically for what you're typing. I think a really good fit for typing for us is just once a week. Like, she gets the practice, doesn't get burnt out by it, and it's been a good fit. For the other elective subjects, I didn't mention this. Foreign language, she likes to do that every day. That's her choice, so she just does that on her own. Music, also the piano, she does just on her own every day. So like I said, these are elective courses that she wants to do. When they have that desire and that want to learn something in particular, the drive is there, is something that she really enjoys. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she has the time to pursue her interests like that. I feel like that's it for 5th grade. This is exciting. I didn't mention this at the beginning because I don't think it matters, but I used to be a 5th grade teacher. And this is really exciting for me. I feel like this is a really big milestone because now she's at the age that I used to teach. Our day looks nothing like the classroom, but I love that. I love seeing how our homeschool has kind of morphed, and I love thinking about the difference of what she's doing compared to what I did in the classroom. So it's a really special year for me that she's here. So I'm really looking forward to it and watching her grow and develop over the year. I feel like she's in a really cool place where her interests are just exploding, and I'm really starting to see what she likes and just see that drive in her. And so I'm looking forward to kind of experiencing that again this year. All right, I'd love to know what you're doing. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know if you've used any of this before. If you have questions about anything that I shared, I can answer them as best as I can. Most importantly, I just hope that you enjoyed talking about curriculum, seeing curriculum, and maybe you were inspired with an idea of your own.